In this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast, it is Rookie Watch Volume 3. I know James could not wait for this episode because a couple guys he's really high on had big games. We're going to talk about Risacher versus Alex Sarr. Bub Carrington had another big night. Kyshawn George. We're also going to talk about Ajay Mitchell getting playing time. Stay tuned. Oh yeah, we can't forget Bronny James scored his first NBA bucket. Shout out to each and every person that has made the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast your first listen of the day. I'm your host, Rafael Barlowe, along with my brother, James Barlowe. Before we get into this episode, I want to let you know that it is brought to you by FanDuel. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. All you have to do is win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'm not sure what is taking so long, but please subscribe, like, share, comment, click the bell so you can be notified every time we drop an episode because we're coming at you at least 5 days a week. I want to say every day. We didn't do anything yesterday because there wasn't a heavy NBA schedule. College scrimmages, yeah, but I'm ready for real college basketball to start, just like NBA basketball is here. All right, let's get started. Risacher versus Sarr 2. Let's talk about the game first. I know the Atlanta Hawks are dealing with a lot of injuries, but they cannot afford to lose 2 games to the Washington Wizards. Their pick goes to the Spurs. It's early. I say this every day, but Atlanta Hawks, I mean, their luck it just seems like they're just having bad luck to start the season. I mean, their roster's depleted. Risacher got to start his second consecutive start, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. I've seen some people on social media commenting that, they weren't impressed with his performance. Yes, some of the points came when they were down, but you'll take 17 points, 7 of 15 from the floor, added 6 rebounds, 2 assists, did pick up 5 fouls, and was 2 of 7 from 3. But what were your thoughts on his overall performance?
Yeah, a lot of the points did come late, but I'm not going to penalize him for that because you got to score. I mean, you're in the game. And when you're 18, 19 years old like these guys, there's no such thing as mop-up minutes. You need every opportunity to get better. So I'm not going to penalize him for that. Risacher, he did some good things, catching and shooting. The ball is clearly his strong point. Putting the ball on the ground is still... If you close out on him poorly, he can get to the basket. If it's triple threat position and he has to create for himself, again, he continues to struggle. But he did some good things. Again, the jump shot, he's not making them is at the clip that you would want him to. But, I mean, really what rookie is, to be honest with you. But, he plays good defense. I saw some stats floating around out there that he's one of the best. Again, sample sizes are extremely small, but he's grading out to be really, really good on-ball defender. But, yeah, he looks like a 3-and-D guy, gets loose in transition. Really good game from him.
Yeah, good game. Again, the back-to-back losses for the Hawks to the Wizards is it's not a good look. But, again, they're injured.
Down. They're down, I want to say,
all their wings.
All their wings.
Point guard.
Yeah.
My concern with the Hawks right now is that if Trae Young is off the floor, who is going to create?
And when Trae Young, well, even when he's off the floor, okay, so he's seen Coulibaly twice now. Shout out to Bilal Coulibaly. That dude is hooping. His second best, Trae Young's second best playmaker is Jaylen Johnson. And I'm really high on Jaylen Johnson. That dude is cold, but do you want him to be your second best playmaker right now? Especially when you're giving up your pick to the Spurs. They're in a tough spot right now.
They are. For the season, Risacher is averaging 9 points, 3.2 rebounds, 1 assist, but only 35% from the floor, 23.8% from 3, and 58% from the foul line. Yikes. Yeah. All right. Talk about Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr had 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 stocks, 4 blocks, and 1 steal. Sarr continues to struggle on the offensive end of the floor, but looks ready to contribute right away on the defensive end.
Yo, hold on. Before you even get there, listen. This was his best game. This was a game of a tease. There was a lot of flashes. Like he blocked the Jalen Johnson alley-oop. That's twice he got Jalen Johnson. He got him the game before, and he blocked the alley-oop. He had a play on Clint Capella at the foul line where he hit him with a turnaround jumper off of like some LaMarcus Aldridge stuff. His best offense, like I said, his best offense comes when he finishes plays, but I would like to see him in that mid post more often. I know the analytics say this, that, and other, but we trying to figure out who we are as an offensive player. Again, he's still struggling, but like defensively, he's ready to go. And he has shown flashes of being a good passer too. So like, I know the box score is not going to tell you the whole story. I know there's going to be, he shot 2 air balls. I mean, like he had some wow moments where like, wow, that was an air ball, but he also had some wow moments like, hey, okay, I see something. Now, will he be able to turn this into something permanent instead of it being permanent potential? Again, time is only going to be able to tell.
Yeah, man, I love his skill set on both ends of the floor. I think he can handle the ball, especially on straight line drives, but he's not going to be able to unlock that until he starts consistently knocking down threes.
Yeah.
He was 2 of 5 from 3. It was still 5 of his 9 attempts for threes. I don't necessarily like that, but I'll take the 2 for 5. He was 3 of 9 overall. He got to the foul line 4 times. I'll take that, 3 or 4 from the foul line. And I have always thought that he was a good passer. He's so talented. I just hope one day he realizes how talented he is, and that if he could just play with a consistent motor and not settle, then I think the sky's the limit for Alex Sarr.
Listen, if he could just find some work on the block, like let's turn 5. He made 5 threes. Or excuse me, he shot 5 threes. He took 2. He made 2 of them. Excuse me. But let me get like 2 post touches a game, and let's work on that from there.
Well, they got him listed at 7 foot 205. It's gonna be hard to get some work on the block when you 205.
I mean, but at the same time, you could be skinny. It's not necessarily you going out there and being a bully. You have length and athleticism. Like the movie hit Capella with, that had nothing to do with him being 205. That was just pure skill.
Yep. All right. Bub Carrington. Let's talk about Bub. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. You were high on Bub. High on him all last season. You didn't fade to black when he went through those shooting struggles.
Because I saw the vision, Ralph. I see the bigger picture.
Go ahead. Take your victory lap.
It's not a victory lap. I see the bigger picture. You want the Cameron version. You want the Big Crit version. Like, Bub takes the right shots, man.
Dominique Wilkins disagrees.
Dominique doesn't like I don't think Dominique likes anybody, to be honest with you. He just, he does his job because he's the Hawk. But like, you can't tell me he likes the shots that Trae Young makes. But like, Bub was hooping, man. Like, he rebounds. He got paint touches. Again, I understand you want him to make layups and finish layups, but when he gets into the paint, he doesn't have tunnel vision, right? He saw Corey Kispert a few times, find the shooters, right? You see him rebound, head up, look down the court. He hit Kyshawn George for a trailing 3. He had a play at the end of the game. Again, there's no such thing as a mop-up minutes when there's rookies on the floor and we're young. Risacher was in his grill. He put Risacher in jail. Bang, bang, hit the floater. He had another play, snake the pick and roll. That's what he was doing at Pitt. Mid-range jumper. He got fouled a couple times. I don't know. Somebody's going to put hands on Garrison Matthews because every game I watched him play, he lays somebody out.
Joe Mazzulla would love that.
He would, but somebody's going to hurt him because it's every game, Ralph. I watch a lot of basketball. But Bub is legit, man. Now, you catch a break. You catch the Hawks. They're beat up, right? They don't have any wings. It doesn't matter. But I want to consistently see stat lines like this. It's a lot to ask of consistency for a young guy, a rookie, especially one of the youngest rookies in his class. But like, you see all the talent. This is what I was telling you about this time probably a month from now last year. Kids got the juice.
Perfect situation for him to be in. And he's made the most of it. I mean, when you look at his numbers compared to the other rookies in his class, he is absolutely like head and shoulders above everybody, especially like when it comes to shooting. He's shooting 44% from the floor, 50% from 3 on 3 attempts per game, and 92% from the line. And he's leading all the rookies in scoring at 10.5 points and chipping in 3.5 assists and 3.5 rebounds.
Hey, man, look, let me tell you something, man. Whatever Kyle Kuzma has right now that made him miss that game, just keep giving that to him, man. You don't need to come back, man. Let these the Wizards are fun. Again, you're not going to get the Hawks, a banged-up Hawks team every night, but the Wizards are fun. That arena was loud. Like, it was a good experience. I love watching that game.
Yeah, they may be my new league pass teams. But let's talk about Kyshawn George real fast. Kyshawn got the start.
That's another one of my guys, Rob.
Yeah, made the most of his opportunity. 11 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. He was 5 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3. But tell me what you saw from Kyshawn that you really liked.
Listen, he does everything. Jack of all trades. The athleticism looks like it's trending in the right way. The spacing has helped him out. He's probably getting his ball body, as LeVar would say. But he makes plays, backdoor cuts, lobs. He is almost to a fault selfish, but that's okay because he makes the right play. But like, he's got some stuff off the dribble. He had his best game. The 3-ball does need to improve, but like I said, man, I saw it in Miami. I saw the vision. Dude does a little bit of everything, and he competes too. You heard what he said about wanting to guard Jason Tatum. Like, hey man, just let the young whiz kids play. Like, hey, I love you, Kuzma. Shout out to you, but you know what I'm saying? Get that Zillow app working, bro.
You want him out of time? I don't even know where to go. But Kyshawn for the season averaging 5 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.8 assists, only 30.8% from the floor, 12.5% from 3, and 50% from the foul line. Interesting because shooting was supposed to be his greatest asset, the shooting and the playmaking. However, 6'8", 200 pounds, can handle the ball, can pass. We know the shooting will improve. I mean, shout out to Will Dawkins. I love what he did with the Wizards class. And even if they're bad this year,
they'll be bad, but it's okay.
Be bad,
guys are getting better.
And with a strong 25 class, they should be able to add another piece. All right, when we return, we're going to talk about Ajay Mitchell, a player that I liked. I wanted him to play. I didn't think he'd have a clear path to playing time, and so far he is playing minutes. We're going to talk about Stephon Castle, Zach Edey, Donovan Clingan, the Raptors rookies, and of course, Bronny James scoring his first NBA bucket. But before we get into the second segment, let's talk about FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, which is America's #1 sports book. Because right now, if you are a new customer, you can bet $5. You can get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL, and it's all in one place. So when you get the hunch in the middle of the game to check out the latest stats, you can view live play-by-play and so much more, and it's on the same page where you placed your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets when you place your first, or actually when you win your first $5 bet, and that's at FanDuel.com. All right, Stephon Castle and Ajay Mitchell, they faced off. Everybody was tuning in to watch Wembenyama and Chet Holmgren.
Hey, man, they got to figure out what's going on with Wemby, man.
I mean, he's been up and down. The game before, he looked phenomenal.
But just offensively, he doesn't have an identity to me on offense right now. I think he needs to simplify it, but it's early, and they got new pieces, but there's high expectations for him, so you have to be critical.
Yeah, coming into the season, everybody was talking about defensive player of the year.
He should still win that.
So on, but he struggled on offense. 6 points, 1 of 5 from the floor. He only got 5 shots, 8 rebounds. You thought that with Chris Paul on board, his shots would come a little easier. I mean, we're talking about the rookies, but Wembenyama's 16 points, 16 and a half points, 11 rebounds, only shooting 40% from the floor at 7.5. And I don't like the fact that he's taking 5.5 threes per game. And I've even talked to some people that are like really close to him, and they don't like the fact that he's settling for too many threes.
And it's him. I think Shai Gilgeous shot like 11 threes last game. Like, come on. My man Anthony Edwards is shooting 13 threes. Look, I get it, man. The 3-ball is great, but like, Nah, don't do that.
Right. All right. Let's talk about Ajay Mitchell. I liked Mitchell a lot.
Guess who really liked AJ Mitchell?
I know
Guess
you
who had,
did.
who had AJ Mitchell as a first round pick all season?
I had him too. I moved him to the second round because I heard that's where he was going. Like one of the things that I heard was that if Minnesota wasn't going to take him, then he was going to fall to the second round. Minnesota ended up trading up for Rob Dillingham. He ends up falling to the second round. And of course, he falls to Sam Presti, who's going to look like a genius again because AJ Mitchell can hoop. And he's playing.
And he played 22 minutes last night. That was
Yeah,
career high. And that wasn't mop-up minutes.
No, he's playing. He had 12 points. He was 5 of 6 from the floor. But no, he's averaging 14.8 minutes per game this season. He had 14 minutes against the Hawks, and he had 16 minutes against the Bulls.
Those are blowouts, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that was I guess you can say this game was a blowout too. But he got in.
But no, he played meaningful minutes though. So like that dude understands angles, Raf. Like he gets to the rack every single time.
Whenever he wants. He's not blowing by you with like this hiccup quick first step. He gets you leaning
and he's gonna win
that angle. Yeah.
He hit a 3 last night. Look, I would have taken him if I was Milwaukee, but what do I know? I would have loved him in Minnesota. I had him pegged to Denver basically all year long, and they could definitely use him. I hope that he continues to get the minutes. I don't know how, though it's gonna work because like Oklahoma City is really, really deep, but he can play.
No, I think he's going to find a way.
Minutes, they're going to blow teams out. Oklahoma City is legit. Will he be able to get consistent minutes? I don't know. But he had the opportunity last night, and he played extremely well.
I just think he's too good to keep off the floor. It's like we talked about with Jaylen Wells. I think he's just too good to keep off the floor.
I get it.
They're going to find a way. They can run some really weird lineups. All right, Stephon Castle.
Hey, man, listen, I own it. That's my guy. He was terrible last night. He didn't have it. He shot, 5 shots? 3 of them were threes. That's not a good diet for him because shooting is not his strong point. He had to play off the ball a lot. He struggled, man. He didn't look good.
But I think that's going to happen more often than not because
him?
Well, one, because you have to put him on the floor. Yeah. And if he's on the floor with Chris Paul, he's going to play off the ball. And teams are going to dare him to shoot every time. If he's open, they're going to give him to catch and shoot threes. If he's in ball screens, they're going to go under his ball screens. Correct. So that's why I think the shooting concerns are magnified because he is a ball handler.
Yes. I feel like this. Because his shot is just not there. And this is the NBA, you can only get away with so much off the ball action, right? You're gonna have to be able to shoot the ball. Like this is the cream of the crop. I like him on the ball with more on the ball reps, but they brought in Chris Paul, right? So it's like I feel like he would be better if the timeline was more so let's develop guys, and maybe they get to that point a few games down the line. Again, it's still really early. Wemby is struggling. I mean, he's had good games, but he definitely didn't have a good game last night. Like I said, that's my guy. I call it like it is. He was terrible last night.
Yeah, he is 0 for 8 from 3 on the season.
Yeah. That's not going to cut it, man. Point blank, period.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs to play. Like I said, I think he needs to play. Chris Paul is going to play because Chris Paul is there to develop Wemby. Which,
right.
The early returns haven't been all that great. So that means Castle is going to have to play some off the ball, probably more so off the ball than on the ball because once Trey Jones is back, which means he is going to have to knock down shots.
Yeah.
Right. When in return, we're going to talk about a couple of the big men, the 2 bigs that were selected in the lottery. Zach Edey and Donovan Clingan. Want to hear James's thoughts on their performance. Then we're going to talk about the Raptors rookies who continue to impress. Ron Holland, Jared McCain had a big game. Stay tuned. All right, last segment, Zach Edey. Zach Edey on paper had a good game. Memphis, they got to figure some things out. Edey had 13 points, but only 2 rebounds and 1 assist.
He played 18 minutes last night.
Yeah, the minutes for Edey have, fluctuated here and there. Some of it is because of foul trouble. It's
matchups.
It's an interesting dynamic, but he played 18 minutes, which is the second most minutes he's played. 6 of 9 from the floor. You'll take that. He didn't take any threes. Bravo. I can't figure out the foul shooting. He's only shooting 30% from the free throw line this season.
Well, check this out, Ralph. I think he's just having issues altogether with his touch. He's shooting 33% in the post on all of his post-up plays. This is coming from one of the most decorated post players of the last 25 years in college basketball. 5-out offenses are kicking his butt right now. So, and he played 5 minutes in the second half. So, yeah, I mean, offensively, he was productive, but I don't want to say he was bleeding points. I'm not going to put that all on him. But it looks like, obviously, they're going to close games with Triple J. And then you got the J Huff emergence. I think Brandon Clark played well for them last night, or at least he played significant minutes. It's just interesting to see how it works. But, Edey is getting all of his buckets right now off of dump-offs.
Yeah. And it's like he caught a lob from Pippen. I don't know if it was yesterday or the game before. But no, the post, I'm even surprised that he's not even getting, great low post position. He seems like he's getting bumped out just a little bit outside of his comfort zone. I mean, we saw in college he was making those shots. Maybe the weight that he dropped. I don't know how much weight he dropped, but he looks at least upper body wise significantly thinner. But Edey's just going to be a storyline all season long.
Mm-hmm. And he I've seen him shoot more left hook jumpers or left hooks than I've seen in a long time from him. And it's teams like that right hook where we know it's coming. We're going to try to defend it as best we can. He is picking up a lot of cheap offensive fouls on screens. That's a whole story in itself on Twitter. But, I mean, it's up and down on him. But even then, that Grizzlies team is up and down.
Yeah. They had high expectations. So the fans are, I don't want to say they're in panic mode right now, but they're definitely voicing their concern.
Oh, yeah. Ja was like, yo, man, what y'all cheer about when you sitting out games, man? And,
I don't know. Dude, didn't he miss a backwards dunk?
Man, he's struggling. And I think so. I personally think from the eye test, they've upped the physicality. At least they're not calling a lot of those touch fouls. And he hasn't made that adjustment yet. Before we talk about Clingan, let me shout out Jaylen Wells again. Productive. He's making plays off the dribble. Efficiency has dropped. Again, this is somebody that came in with the rep as a shooter. I think he's shooting 33%. But he's still out there being productive. He's not just a corner boy. And even though his shooting numbers aren't great, you still respect him as a shooter. Chasing off the line, he's making plays. So shout out to Jaylen Wells.
Yeah, he's another guy that we talked about that we just figured they have to find minutes for him. And I think they're going to have to find minutes for him once Vince Williams and Gigi comes back. So that's
good luck with figuring all that out.
We say it every episode.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's going to work, but they got to play him. All right, Donovan Clingan, again, very productive in his minutes, 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block.
He made a 3.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, hold on. Let me say something. Okay, I think he needs to add a 3-pointer because he's not somebody you throw the ball to on the block to score. I think it's the opposite of Edey. Listen, Ralph, take 1 a game. That's all I'm asking. 1 a game because listen to me, he can pass, right?
Yep.
So how that works is in dribble handoff. Again, I haven't seen him yet score on a roll this season. Everything's been off of offensive rebounds or just a dump off, right? But as if they eventually ever find more minutes for him just knocking 1-3 down would be great, right? But because he can pass, he can turn it into a dribble handoff, right? So I'm okay with him taking 1. He didn't. Edey, no, chill out, dog. That's not you.
I just think he needs to be a play finisher, and then once they figure out how to, get him more involved as a role man, I think his passing could
be impactful there. Score as a role man.
Yeah, I mean their point guard play hasn't been the best. I mean, they got Scoot coming off the bench. He's been up and down. He's been better than he was last year, but even then, that's like, the guy that was once considered generational is coming off the bench for a team that is below 500. All right, let's talk about a few other guys that had some solid performances. Ron Holland, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Ron is again. I think Ron is going to get minutes. I don't think he's in the same situation as some of the other guys where they don't know how much they're going to play from game to game. But Ron has been able to carve out at least double-figure minutes in all the games except one. And his last 2 games, he's been efficient from the floor. He was 3 of 4 versus Philly. He was 3 of 6 the game before against Miami in 14 minutes. Ron is shooting 46% from the floor, which, we'll take that. He's at 11% from 3, but that is not surprising. And the biggest surprise is that Ron hasn't attempted a free throw since the first game.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he is 2 of 2 from the foul line, but he hasn't attempted a free throw. And Ron is rebounding in his limited minutes. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Ron's game against
Ron
Philly?
Brings the energy, man. He's going to find a way to get to the basket. Look, his first step is still – he has one of the meanest first steps, not just for a rookie, just all of the NBA. Like, if there's a crack to get to the basket, he's going to get there. Jump shot, I mean, he can't shoot, but it's okay because he finds other ways to be productive. Shout out to Ron.
Yep. All right, Jared McCain had a solid performance. Philly is struggling. I mean, we know they're missing their top 2 dogs. They are 1 and 3, but McCain had 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. This was his best game because he's been struggling. It's weird because the first 2 games, he only played 8 minutes combined. And then the last 2 games, he's been able to up his minutes. He had 17 minutes against the Pacers in the game that went into overtime. And then he had 22 minutes against the Pistons. But this was his best game, his first game over 4 points. Do you think that he is going to be able to carve out a consistent role in their rotation this year?
I think when he settles in as a 3-point shooter, he will. Because Eric Gordon is like 36, 37. So you got to think he's not going to be consistent, right? He wasn't really consistent last year in Phoenix. When the other guys come back, other guys being Paul George, when you do have Embiid out there, could I see him playing minutes? I think the game will be easier for him playing off of them because then you're just going to have to just stand there and make shots. I know in the past and definitely in the preseason, he was trying to do a lot more as far as like putting the ball on the ground. But will he be able to carve minutes? I don't know, man. Nick Nurse will run a tight ship, so it'll be interesting to see. But this was a good game for him, trending in that direction. And I think Paul George is supposed to come back soon. And who knows with Embiid, though.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I just saw that he's playing 5-on-5. But this was a good game for McCain. And like you said, a step in the right direction. All right, real quick, let's talk about the Raptors rookies. Mogbo got the start versus the Hornets. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's been quite a revelation or a surprise for the Raptors.
Yeah, I wasn't as high on Mogbo because he was, again, I understood what he does, what he brings, the athleticism, the energy, and that's what he's doing right now.
And he can pass. Don't forget the passing.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate. Look, he does a lot of things, and he doesn't shoot, that's fine. He's going to be he's a rim finishing forward that can pass. Again, when you play him 18 minutes, he's going to be productive. And with the Raptors already putting that tank out there, look, they set Scotty Barnes down for 3 weeks. Yeah, he's going to get every opportunity. So shout out to Mogbo. Shout out to Shead. He continues to do what he does, get to the paint, pressure defense, he can make plays. Jump shot it doesn't even matter because you know what? The Raptors aren't trying to win games. You're going to have every opportunity to be great. I think Quickly might have hurt himself tripping over a money stack, and he's not in a rush to come back. So, yeah, man, shout out to the Raptors rookies, man. Make the most of these opportunities.
Yeah, Jamal Shead is 4th out of the rookies in scoring at 8.2 a game, and he leads all rookies in assists at 5.6. You can make a case and say that the veterans, like the older rookies, are definitely playing better than some of the younger one-and-done guys. I mean,
he's still opportunity-based because Tristan Da Silva's racking up DNP CDs right now.
Yeah, but there's no opportunities to play in Orlando.
But I mean, you 23. Like I think that Anthony Black took a step forward that maybe they did not expect for him to take this early. But I mean, if I draft a 23-year-old in the first round, I expect him to play. I expect him to crack that rotation, and he hasn't. But
I don't, because he plays the same position as Isaac.
Isaac has been hurt.
Banchero. I knew
I
knew there wasn't, and he played really, really good in summer league. And I wasn't a big De Silva believer, but I was starting to see like, dang, maybe I was wrong about him in summer league. But he just hasn't had an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't play, but like you said, it's everything is about opportunities you can see. Because look, if you playing for the Wizards, man, you feeling good about yourself. You sore after the game, you taking showers after the game. Meanwhile, I mean, we're not talking about him, but Madas 4 minutes there. Shoot, T-John, he scored his first bucket. It wasn't a 3-pointer, surprisingly. I mean, the NBA is about opportunities, man.
You want to be a Wizard if you're a rookie. When I'm looking at all the numbers, like as far as like the rookie leaders, they're all Wizards. Bub is leading the rookies in points. Sarr is leading rookies in rebounding. And Bub blocks. Is second in assists. Sarr is leading rookies in blocks. Kyshawn George is third in steals. All right, let's finish up with the Lakers. Got smacked in Cleveland, but Dalton Knecht had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. I think he has 100% solidified his role in their rotation. One, because he's been up and down. He had 0 points the last game, I believe.
Against Phoenix, yes.
Against Phoenix, and then he had 18. He's averaging 8 points a game, which is, you'd expect that. Shooting 45% from the floor. He is also shooting 35% from 3 on 4 attempts. My man is getting up 4 attempts from 3 in 16 minutes.
And listen, he is here to do one thing: get them up.
Get them up. But that was, even though it was a blowout, when you're a rookie, like you said, there's no such thing as garbage time. You want the minutes. And for him, seeing the ball go in after going scoreless the day before, or was it 2 days before, has to be a good feeling. He's played 20 minutes twice this season, and the 2 games that he's played over 20 minutes, he scored double figures. All right, let's wrap it up. Bronny James, we've avoided talking about him.
I'm just laughing because he got a graphic.
Yeah, man, he deserved a graphic. He had 2 points. I mean, I made the graphic is wrong. He didn't have 2 blocks. But Bronny James, it's the most hyped 2 points, the most talked about.
Listen,
bucket.
It looked good. It wasn't no fluky 2 points. He caught Jalen Tyson sleep, hit him with a little pickup dribble. I like it. Let's see that in the G League down in South Bay.
Yeah, that was one of the most confident plays I've seen from him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just period. Other than like the McDonald's game, but in college, I didn't really see him flash that type of level of confidence. In summer league, he had 2 games, I guess one at the end of summer league, one at the end of preseason, where he looked confident. I just think for him, the confidence it's a roller coaster. When there's like no pressure in a sense, he looks relaxed.
Yeah.
But when he's starting or playing early, then he looks a little bit nervous. He looks like he's undecisive. But he was very decisive. Maybe it was the home cooking because he was in Cleveland.
He ain't been in Cleveland since he was a little jit, man. Come on now.
No, I mean, but he's been there for a while.
All right.
I mean, Bron played the majority of his career in Cleveland.
Man, Bron last year in Cleveland was what, 2018?
Yeah.
All right, so Bronny 19. 7 years ago, 7 years ago, he was 12. I guess so.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, Bronny hasn't been alive as long as LeBron's been playing. But anyway, he looks confident. So we'll see if it carries over to South Bay. All right, time to hand out our rookie of the night. And this is, to me, it's a no-brainer. You got to go with Bub Carrington.
2-time.
6 rebounds, 6 assists. He's been good. Justifying being a lottery pick. I know that was one of the biggest shockers on draft night. Shout out to Will Dawkins. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast. Once again, thank you for making this your first listen of the day. Now, check out lockedondaily.com because your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. So find out your favorite team or pick your favorite team The Locked On newsletter will give you the ultimate team and league coverage, and it will be delivered right into your inbox. So sign up for free now at lockedondaily.com. You can start your day with the all-new and free Locked On newsletter covering your favorite team. Once again, it's Rafael, Barlowe, and my brother James, and we are out of here.